So most people have been chasing those green candles, the hype, buying altcoins at the wrong time. I've done it. We've all probably done it. But there's actually a little bit of a method to the madness of maybe timing the market, not perfectly, but at the right time for altcoins. These are called alt seasons. This video is going to explain in a very, very smart way, in a simple way, step by step, how to time an alt season. I've been investing for a while. Gaz has been investing for a while too, 2016 for myself, and 2017, 2018 for Gaz. Gaz actually did buy the top, and I know he hates me for saying that, but it's just the reality. But learning from that point has been huge. There is an element of time in the market is key. Gaz has shown that. But there is an element of time in the market which you can do at certain points, certainly in a cyclical period, where you can get some gains, which is an alt season. We're going to go through that. And that is kind of my bread and butter. It's kind of how me as a person and as an individual and learning crypto came about, is due to the fact of success by using a similar sort of strategy. Now on the screen, you've probably heard of a thing called alt season, Bitcoin season. Currently, full on Bitcoin season. So it doesn't really matter too much, this metric. You can get this for free totally on CoinMarketCap, and all this is doing is telling you what is actually performing better or worse than, which is majority of, than Bitcoin, which is pretty much nearly everything. But let's go a little bit deeper. So pin your ears back. I'm going to explain dominance in hopefully a very, very quick period. When dominance is high, your altcoin pairs in the BTC are low. And you're probably wondering, what's a BTC pair? Well, every single asset, regardless of what it is, now currently, Polkadot is 535 Satoshis in value. That would equal, if you put into a conversion calculator, of that sum and the USD dollars, it would be $4.67. That is the overall price. So what these are is huge. What people get confused about is the USD price. That's actually that, right? I know, mental. So people think, oh, I'm making loads of money on my altcoins, I'm doing really well today. Well, actually, you're only doing well because certain things have happened. So currently, live, real situation here, Bitcoin is down 0.2%, right? Simple. Cardano is up 3.69%. If you look at the overall price here, it's here too. But when you look at this, it's up that extra sum, basically telling us that because Cardano is up nearly 4% in the market, when you remove those sums, it equals that little thing. I know it's mental. It blows my mind when people don't understand it. So the reason why that's doing so well today is because this is actually bumping up a little bit. But as you can see here, this is current pricing in terms of Cardano. It's down 86% in the Bitcoin pair. AVAX is another good example. It's down quite a lot. As you can see here, it's down ridiculous from the tops. It's down about 90%. So it's important. What we're looking for is a trigger and a catalyst and a situation where we can enter altcoin levels at bottom areas where interest is kind of changed. And that's where over the last couple of years, we've not had that interest. So one thing I will say, Bitcoin dominance isn't the be all and end all. I know, I've said it. There is actually a couple of indicators that I'm going to show you that will help you massively. This is a total 3/BTC. It's very, very easy to get on your chart. Basically, you just type in that, essentially, that top bit. Easy peasy. What this is, it's the total 3, which doesn't include Bitcoin, doesn't include Ethereum, and basically the 125 top assets currently, right? You can go a little bit deeper and you can remove the stable currencies if you so wish to, but it gets a bit messy. But ultimately, this is a good indication to tell you if things are changing. Currently, right now, nothing's changing. So basically with these charts, they need to go up. What this is giving you the strength of it over on the right-hand side. And it needs to go up because that would indicate that the prices of those BTC pairs are rising. But remember, it's an index. Not all coins are going to rise. We're not going to see, I don't think anyways, for me personally, my opinion, high tide rises all ships. Another one is others.btc, similar sort of situation. Needs to go up, but obviously with this one, it's the others. It's everything else. So this one's a good indicator as well to kind of help you. But you can see from the past and, what's happening in this cycle, alt seasons don't happen very often. It's a bit different, right? And there's a lot of reasons why, but I still believe we're going to get interest in altcoins. I know I'm very bearish overall in my opinion, and I do think some will do well, but I think the days of just buying the lows and buying the dips and hoping it's going to bounce are kind of over. And that's why you need to kind of adopt a strategy that will majorly help you in understanding that. And the final thing you can do as well, and it's kind of obvious, is every single asset has a .d. BNB.d, Cardano.d, obviously Bitcoin.d, Polkadot.d, you get the idea. Ethereum.d is nuked. So what this is telling us, it's telling us how much of the percentage of the market is actually this asset. So obviously dominance, and I've said this with Ethereum. I said that Bitcoin dominance wasn't going to go towards 60% just because I thought Ethereum would remain around 20 to 15%. It didn't. It went. It's now 8%. So with that, you can look at the trigger of alt season and think, is it because Ethereum's just doing bad? Is it because of the ETF and Bitcoin? Are we ever going to get an alt season again? That's probably just a capitulation sort of question. But ultimately, there's lots of ways and means to look at it. But if this starts trending up, you might start seeing more interest in altcoins. Likewise, that will then give us a situation where the Bitcoin dominance will drop. That would give us another tick in the box. If we start then seeing the total 3/BTC starting to trade up, it might get even better. Now, I'm hoping, now this is going to sound obvious, I'm hoping you've done your research on your coins. I want to keep this bit brief. Check the tokenomics, right? Check the fundamentals, check the use case, check the team, check the narrative. Is there a narrative in play? Look at the previous cycles. Have these assets pumped in the past? Are they still alive? Are they still doing what they need to be doing? And avoid the hype. So let's just, doing your own research. It's not a meme. Please don't copy. You need to do your own checks. But I think that's a small amount of information that you need because ultimately the confirmation bias should already be there. Why are you looking to buy that? That shouldn't have changed. So redo your research if you're struggling. Let's get back into the TA side of it because I think structure of an altcoin is pretty important when we're looking to buy. If you're not yet done so, check out the link below. We have free trials and all memberships. You get full Discord access. You can get in the live stream. You can do anything you want. No obstructions, which is great. Why not? So here's Ethereum USD. We're kind of in a bit of a muddy puddle right now. And this little circle is kind of highlighting an area of interest where we should be capturing. You want to try and buy in an uptrend. That's kind of the bottom line of everything here. There's no point buying the dip that keeps on dipping because you can still lose lots of money. Even if you bought this dip, you lost a lot, right? The reality is people just willy-nilly just plonk orders in and not waiting for any momentum. You need to wait, like I said before, for the dominance to change, for the total 3/BTC to change, and your individual asset to grow. There's two ways of doing this. You got the Ethereum USD pair, or you got the Ethereum BTC pair. What would you rather do? Personally, I would wait for this to change. If this is starting to show a sign of uptrend, that might be much more important because if Bitcoin is still positive, you may well find that you're going to make some money on the upside. So make sure you're looking at that. Now, what you need to do is, and I know it's a bit mental, you need to wait for a bit of a high, a change of character, so to speak, a higher low to appear and stuff like that. And ultimately change where this is going to go. Obviously, ugly. If you want to put EMAs on there, you can. If you want to look at certain bigger term metrics, you can. But the reality is people are just waiting for this to turn. And I think many people are. And I questioned it. Is this a bottom? That's 2018 levels, by the way. Madness, right? So there's a lot of upside return here in the BTC pair if it can go back up a little bit. But whether that happens or not, I don't bloody know. It's mad. Same with other USD assets. You can see with Polkadot, with how it kind of goes up and down like a yo-yo. You want to buy into the momentum and the strength of a breakout, so to speak. So obviously in the past, you can see how it broken out from this level. It changed character and it just took off. Likewise, probably this area here where we've got the EMA and stuff like that. We're looking for certain areas around this point where it could start recapturing some lows. And ultimately, if it does start doing it, you're going to look at the Fibonacci sequences and think, well, target range probably about here, maybe $8. Depends on where it goes. But ultimately, they're just target ranges. It could go much higher. But you need to wait for the trend to change. There's no point buying into something that literally is in a honking horrible downtrend. Because like I say, it could go lower, right? What if it does go lower? Hurts, doesn't it? Look, even like popular assets right now currently, there's potential areas for a short all the way down here because it could easily just do that. And even in my own personal video the other day, I was talking about sentiment in the market. Even the good assets, if the market is bearish, will fall more than you think. So if you're buying altcoins, you need to wait for that sentiment to change. So there we go. Hope you enjoy. I cannot stress this enough. Wait for confirmations to buy an altcoin. I can imagine in the comment section there's people going, I've probably lost a lot of money here. So let me know in the comments, how much money have you lost over the course of the last couple of months, years in altcoins?